So I had this funny conversation with this potential new client a few years ago. And for the sake of this conversation, let's just call this guy Simon. And Simon comes to me, in the call, he says to me, Rob, I can't seem to get anything right. He was like, I can't get attention online. I can't get any clients, can't get any customers. I've tried everything, right? And I said to Simon, let's just break it down, Simon. Let's go from the start. Let me understand what you've currently tried. And Simon was like, well, I feel like I'm working all the time at the moment. And I was like, but what have you actually tried? He was like, well, I have been doing these money meditations all day. And I was like, Simon, what's a money meditation? And so Simon was like, well, it's basically like kind of your typical form of meditation. You sit there, you're concentrating, and you're clearing your mind, you're staying present to the moment, and you're just thinking about things that you need and things that you don't have. So in this case, like I have no money, so I'm just focused on money. I'm like visualizing money coming into my bank. And I said to him, yeah, but what else have you been trying? And he was like, well, I've just really been doing that. And I was like, Simon, you crazy, man. Like, what the hell? And Simon was like, what do you mean? And I was like, you have to do the work, right? Your ancestors didn't die in wars. They didn't die fighting for survival. They had to go out and hunt. Meanwhile, you live in an apartment in the middle of a city center and you're doing money meditations. All right. You have to do the work. You can visualize as much as you want that, you're going to get big muscles, right? But unless you actually go to the gym and work out, nothing's going to happen, right? And he could not understand this concept. And I was like, you have to actually go out and hunt food, right? If we were in a tribe 10,000 years ago, the way you get paid, the way you eat, the way your family survives is you get to keep what you've killed. You have to go out and hunt. If you don't go out and hunt, you and your family will starve to death. That's it. All right. There's no sort of surprises. There's no like miraculous saving. You can only save yourself. And it made me think, that most people know what they've got to do. They just don't do it. Most people know what specific actions they need to take, but they do all these other things which are nothing to do with actually getting the end goal. And look, it doesn't matter like what your daily routine is and that, as long as you do the main thing. And the main thing is going out and hunting for business if you're in business. And it's funny, right? Because I was speaking to a guy I used to, we're really good friends, super good friends. And I spoke to him last year and he was like, man, he's like a top dog sales guy, was hired by a sales company, crushed it, moved up the ranks, crushed it again, moved up the ranks, crushed it again. And he's on a lot of money, right? And then one day I was speaking to him, this was last year, and he was like, Rob, I've just quit my job. And I was like, why'd you quit your job? And he was like, I just don't enjoy it. He was like, I feel like, I want to start my own business. I know I'd be good at starting my own business. I know like, I should just get myself out there and start my business because like I should be in charge really. And I was like, fair play to you, man. Like good for you, right? So this was like early December time last year. And I spoke to him again recently. I'm not going to name his name in case he's watching this channel or watches it in the future. I was like, hey man, I was like, how's it going? And he was like, yeah, it's going good. And I was like, what are you up to these days? What are you doing? And he was like, well, I think I better go back to, work soon. He was like, I've been off work for like the last year because I quit my job. And I've been thinking about starting a business. And I was like, you're still thinking about starting a business? It's literally 8 months later and you haven't done a thing. I was like, what have you tried? Nothing. Madness, all right? You see, in today's modern world, it's comfortable. Humans don't have pain. They don't have massive pressure. A lot of the time, even if you've got bills and debts and things, there's no real threat like we used to deal with that our nervous systems are used to dealing with, right? Because we're running like a machine, basically, our body, which is not quite adapted to the modern day, right? It's still sort of, you know, we still get like fight or flight and things like this, but like the real world pressures aren't as dangerous as, you know, they used to be. But we need a bit more pain than this, because like what happens ultimately if we go broke? Well, we just go and, you know, we can go and claim job seekers allowance, we can go and claim all these different things, and there's no real danger, which unfortunately is great for us really, but like unfortunately when there's no real danger, you don't actually get moving, because Freud talks about humans need pain to move away from, pleasure to chase, right? And the pleasure isn't really there anyway, because like what more would we really buy? A faster car, slightly better apartment. And the problem is with this is that most people know what they need to do. They just don't do it. They know what they need to do. They just don't do it. Probably you as well, if you're watching this. I do it in certain areas of my life as well. Like just yesterday, I was super burnt out because I've had my foot on like the gas for a long time now. I've just been going and going and going and going. And I was super burnt out, and I actually had to quit work early for like the first time in a long time. And I was just like, I need to go and like just rest. I've been working 7 days a week for, you know, the last 5 weeks in a row. Before that, it was 6 days a week, right? But I was thinking to myself, there is a lot of wasted time in my day, like a lot of wasted time. I am not constantly working. I am constantly like thinking and strategizing, but like I'm not constantly getting after it. And really what matters is that really like the end result is pretty much dictated by how much you put in, like you actually get after it. That's really what it is, right? So if you're trying to start a business, how many people are you reaching? How many people are you interacting with? How many people are you offering to jump on a call with? How many people are you offering to do business with, right? How much content are you putting out there? How much, you know, are you communicating with your team members? How many people have you got in the pipeline? How many people have you followed up with? How many leads have you got coming in, right? It's all the end goal is dictated by like the input you're putting in. And we know we need to take a few simple actions to put the input in, but we just don't. It's the friggin' human condition, man. We know what we need to do, we just don't do it. And it blows my mind, you know. Poor Simon is concentrating, thinking money meditations are gonna change his life. They're not. Like, if this was 10,000 years ago, that dude would die. Right? He would die because he's not able to go out there and hunt. And it's just so funny. It's just so funny. You know, like meditation is something good to do. And visualization is something good to do to get you in a positive mind state. But you can be as positive as you want, right? You can be the most positive person. But if your house is on fire, your house is not going to be, like the fire is not going to be put out in your house by thinking positively. Just doesn't work like that. Life just does not work like that. So there's a time and a place for visualization. There's a time and a place for meditation and calming your mind. And there's a time and a place for action. And unfortunately, people, rather than going from A to B in a direct straight line, they go, well, I'm at A right now, and I need to get to B, and I'm going to go all the way up here, and then I'm going to go down here, and then I'm going to go all the way over here. And then I might end up at B, I may end up at friggin' Z, right? Who the hell knows? And it's just funny. So if you're watching this channel right now, just remember that, like, just do the work, just do the actions. Forget about the rest. Go and, you know, fuck around afterwards, but make sure you do the work. Just a quick message from me today. Hope you enjoyed that. I hope it was insightful.